In my opening card pull, I asked Spirit the question right off the bat, what do you want to tell us about other civilizations in other dimensions, other worlds, and other realities? And the card pull that I got was the Four of Earth. And this is the card of protection, being separated, being in a compartmentalized type of situation. We have the card of love, which to me in this tarot deck represents civilization, society, community, connection. We also have the legality of things, justice. And this is the policies, the rules, constitutions, the rules of play, the rules of war, the rules of how we're going to operate amongst ourselves and with other civilizations. So the answer to the question, do other civilizations exist? Absolutely. And today we're going to explore it in a little bit more detail. So stay tuned. Grab yourself some hydration, some lemon water. Today I have lime in my water. And then grab a cup of tea or anything to help you relax. And we are going to be looking at interdimensional realities. But first, I want to welcome everyone here on this live and on the replay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it when you send in donations, when you send in book readings with me, when you even give me a comment or a thumbs up. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and set the tone with my little beginning protection prayer. I'm going to do some sage and claim this prayer for you as well. All beings, thought forms, entities, technologies, and artificial intelligences that are not for our highest good or the highest good of all life on earth, and that are not in service to the one true source of all creation, the great I Am, and the technology you use, such as nanodust, smart dust, black goo, tracers, trackers, implants, blockers, algorithms, operating systems, and all else included in AI that are not for our highest good of humanity, we command you to leave this live stream, to leave this channel, to leave this earth, to leave our minds, our bodies, and our energy fields once and for all. Go to the abyss and never torment again. Your contracts are null and void. All empty spaces led by these dark forces are now filled by the light of Christ energy, the light, the power of Holy Spirit, and the divine love of all that is holy and good. We invite truth and clarity into this space with healing and liberty for all. It is so. All right, let's get started. All right, so I'm going to do some general questions about other realities, civilizations, aliens, and then I'm going to share a little video with you about frequency wars. And another mystic made an announcement that between the years 2019 and 2026, it would be looked at upon in the future as the frequency wars. So we're going to pull some cards on that as well. For right now, do other civilizations exist? I want to recap here. Yes, they have compartmentalized areas that they exist in. And this is Earth-based as well as extra-terrestrial or terrestrial. So there are beings located on Earth that are different than humans, and they have different compartmentalized locations. This could be underground. This could be across an ice wall. This could be in Antarctica. This could be as shapeshifters, but they do exist on the Earth realm. And I'm reminded of a story that Simon Parkes mentioned. He said that the elite group of the Marines, I think the Green Berets? No, that's the elite army. The elite Marines is it Delta? Anyway, I don't know all the terminology, but the elite groups of Marines actually have access and are in communication with a werewolf type civilization. These are the shapeshifters that people see out west, and they're allowed to come and feed on animals, and they have to stay in a certain territory. And they hate the R creatures that end in alien, okay? that lizard kind of people, the R people, and they are contracted by the US government. The werewolves are contracted by the US government to go fight some of the other more nasty civilizations, such as lizard kind of people. Now, that is what another truther said. We're going to pull on the werewolves situation here. Please do not write the R word in the chat because I think it triggers YouTube. Yeah, I think the R people have been very strong in creating a matrix. So we can pull on the R people though. It ends in Ilian and it's like a lizard. All right, but yes, there are compartmentalized civilizations, societies, groups of beings that are different. And they have their own set of policies, rules, laws, and contracts. Interesting. So are there any Earth-based extraterrestrials that are on Earth? Are there any, we're just looking at our Earth right now. We're going to be looking at other dimensions and other planets, but are there any good? Are they good or are they harmful? And I also want to see if we can get a number of extraterrestrial civilizations that might be intertwined into our group, into our humanity, but are not quite right. Okay, so we have the 9 of Earth and the King of Fire. So they have been integrated independently into the world leaders of our world. This King of Fire represents world leadership. It represents leaders of the world, but they are an independent of humanity. They are not humans, but they are often, some of them are our world leaders. Many of them have been either captured or released or fled. There is a divine shift of power over our world, and many of these shapeshifters that come from other realities are being forced into, I don't want to say retirement, but they're being forced to either capitulate, to flee, or to leave their position. These are the masked people or the liars or the fake ones. Page of Air represents several falsehoods, illusions. So there are shapeshifters on Earth that are creating illusions for humanity. Mental traps, matrix, illusion. They're independent, but they are our world leaders. Wow. And that, I feel, is what Spirit wants us to know, is the ones we really have to worry about are the ones that are in leadership positions. Are there any civilizations on Earth that are beneficial, that are not creating illusions? Thank you. Okay. We have some working with the intelligence communities, but they cannot operate the way they want. They are oftentimes trapped, or they have to be very secretive if they are for the good of humanity. They're undercover. And I'm getting here, well, let's get a full spread. I'm getting an undercover agents of good people that are from other, they have to be very strategic. These are the beneficial ones, okay? These are the ones from other worlds, planets, realities. Okay, they are coming from other civilizations. So cool. The 10 of Earth represents soul family, soul tribe, for the good of humanity, abundance, and freedom fighters. And then we have, they are going to make an announcement or be able to reveal themselves soon. So this second card pull is telling me that there are spiritual or interdimensional, extra-dimensional beings that are working with humanity, with humans, and they have to be undercover. They have to be very strategic because they are not liked and they are easily recognized by the R people or the W werewolf people, or some sort of conflicting agendas. So they have to come in, they're for the good of humanity, but they have to be very strategic and undercover. But it's going to come soon where they will begin to reveal. We will realize and they will reveal They will make some announcements that they are from other civilizations and other realities. Wow. So I am not getting entire civilizations connected to the earth realm that are benevolent on this earth. So I'm not getting extraterrestrial civilizations that are for the good. Most of the extraterrestrial civilizations camped on earth are not for the good of humanity. Anything else you want us to know about good and evil forces? Okay, the good people come through interdimensional portals, teleportation, elevators, like teleportation machines. They use creativity. They use different kinds of systems. They're working with the finances and the financial systems of Earth. They are in balance with harmony in nature. So the ones coming through the portals and the teleportation are more beneficial than those that just live on the earth plane but shapeshift. If you have any specific questions, go ahead and put it into the chat. All right, let's go to our next question. Do werewolves exist? So I want to go back to that story by Simon Parkes that out west in the United States, that there is an shape-shifting civilization. They're often seen, it's not Bigfoot, okay, it's something different. They are seen sometimes as werewolves, or they're seen as shapeshifters that run on all fours like big, large dogs. And I have seen this scenario when I watch some of the documentaries about the alien, the animal attacks, or some of the orbs, or some of the sightings out west in Utah and California and Arizona. And so they say that there's like this huge, massive dog creature that's like 6 feet high on all fours. Well, not 6 feet, like 4 feet high, 5 feet high on all fours. And then it can stand up and it can run like a dog, or stand up and then it just disappears. And so I was listening to a Simon's Park, and he said that the werewolf civilization can go invisible, and they can even teleport into like the earth, and they can go through portals into the earth and teleport into their underground tunnels. And he said the Marines contact them when they want to do warfare with our people over in Europe. And when our people are getting too encroaching into maybe transferring of little people, and they're doing their nasty work of possibly, ruining humanity. So I'm just going to leave it there. And they actually contract with the werewolves to go and fight the our people because they hate the our people. And I was just like, what is this story? So I'm going to pull on the Werewolf Kingdom. I actually, as a little girl, had a lot of images. That was the first civilization that I kind of felt with, was the Kingdom of the Wolves. It wasn't necessarily a high vibrational civilization, but I felt like I knew wolves in the past. I just saw myself as a wolf as a little girl, as I had an imaginary wolf pack. I was part of it. And so when they say that werewolves exist, it definitely resonates with me, and I don't know why. So I am curious about the werewolf community. Spirit, can you tell us about, do werewolves exist? What are they like? What can you tell us? And there's also the concept of vampires too. I do not resonate myself on a soul level with vampires, but somehow in my soul, I kind of always knew they existed. And I have a story from a friend who swears she saw an actual vampire on a train. in Europe. So I'll share that with you. I believe the vampires might be another type of people or another type of beings that once existed thousands and thousands of years ago. The earth became dense and it's hard for them to stay materialized. I think that's how some of these civilizations exist. It's hard for these beings to stay in a 3D material form because they do have magical powers, werewolves, unicorns, vampires. I keep wanting to say Wolverines, and it's not that. Vampires are people. It's hard for them to stay. But I think the R people have been able to shapeshift into human form or to merge their energy with a human energy, and that's how they can stay more 3D. So let's ask about the werewolves right now. Spirit, what can you tell me about the werewolves? Do they exist? Okay, I'm doing the full card spread here, and I'll show it to you. So we have 2 yes cards, an Ace of Earth, which is a yes, and this means in Earth, and then a Page of Earth, which is a yes card as well, which means in the Earth realm. We have here multiple civilizations of wolf-type creatures. This is not just 2, this is 3. They might be in partnership as well with certain people. They are independent and they have intense energy within their bodies, hence why they could teleport. However, we have a timeline shift. So this means that they existed a lot more in times past. They might even be existing in another timeline of Earth, but they can dip into this timeline. Not sure what that means, but they are in partnership and they do exist somewhere in the Earth realm. They are energetic and independent of humanity. Do they work with military or intelligence, or do they have their own, do they stick to themselves? They want to, they have desires, but the US military has been cutting off contact with them. Oh my goodness. Justice, legal, they might have broken some contracts in the past. They are now being herded into more like or kept in like a reservation, kept under certain lands. Yeah. Our U.S. government is taking care of their own people, the U.S. citizens, or whatever civilizations are out there, whatever nations. The nations and the governments are not working with the werewolves like they used to. The werewolves liked the agreement they had with the U.S., but I keep saying the U.S. I have to go with it. The U.S., but the U.S. government is stopping, especially the high elite commanders. Like, watch my last video, or actually watch the video for my membership. I talk and I shared some information about how there's actually 12 levels, 12 generals and higher levels called cosmic clearance. I got this from Ishmael Perez. Cosmic clearance above even the United States president and the world leaders. So there's levels to information having to do with the cosmic clearances. And I'm getting in this card pull that the werewolves have been severed from above the presidents of this world. The militaries on a higher white hat level have severed contact or severed agreements with the werewolves. Werewolves wish they were still working with us, but the werewolves are being told to get back onto their reservations, stay in their interdimensional reality, and to leave humanity alone. Interesting. Very interesting. Ask if there was an extraterrestrial meeting of other worlds conducted during the Kennedy administration where Earth leaders met with a summit held in England. Spirit, what can you tell us? Was there an extraterrestrial meeting of world leaders of other worlds connected during the Kennedy administration where Earth leaders met with leaders of other worlds in England? What can you tell us about that piece of information. Is it accurate? So anything else we need to know? Give us the details, please. Okay. There was an intelligence operation, messenger of Earth. This is like the military card in the deck, or more like the 5 eyes. Okay. 5 eyes. We do have underground, and we have a positive meeting. So this is a positive, a call, a judgment call, or not reconnaissance, but a reckoning, a gathering together, a coming together for something good, but it's very secret, if not underground. The 4 of Earths is telling me something was captured or withheld. This was a negative meeting. There does seem to be something that happened, but it was not positive. Any clarity on this? So it was an attempt to possibly rid the earth of this negative beings. I'm trying to get whether their purpose was nefarious or whether they came because they were nefarious beings on earth. So what was the agenda of this meeting? Was it done by white hats? Was it for the good of humanity? It was a something that needed work within the earth realm. Something was blocked. 5 of water. This is sadness, depression, anxiety. This could have been resources that were being taken from the earth. Resources that were causing humanity to lose control of the earth plane. This was a meeting about work and situations to siphon the earth of resources. Once again, earth, work, resources. Okay, but I'm still not catching the energy of whether this was an agenda of good people or an agenda of bad people. I think because it's so far back in time, I'm having a hard time tap into it. Spirit, was this a white hat meeting or a dark hat meeting? We have military coming in and white hats, thank God. This was some of the higher realms of the white hats with the good military. I believe this was the beginning of what we know of today as taking down the CABAL and bringing in a strategy to help set people free, because there was too much siphoning of Earth's resources, transferring of every kind of material, possibly even metals or earth harvesting of some kind. This could have been minerals or mines or even humans, but something of the earth-based resources were being siphoned off, and the good white hat military generals with Earth, as well as some of the higher realms of planetary beings, were actually in this meeting because they had to set a strategy in place, because for some reason, according to this card pull, the Earth was being very heavily depleted. Interesting. So I hope that answers your question there. All right, let's go to the next question, and then I want to bring in the video. Oh, yes. Okay. Do alien spacefaring tribes exist? So there's 3 ways I'm seeing interdimensionals and extraterrestrials in my research. So number 1, they're more of the earth-based underground shapeshifters and the different civilized werewolves and our people and lizard and these kind of more of like golems and chimeras and vampires. Before I go into the alien spaceship, I want to share about a story from my friend who was sitting on a train, I believe, going through the Netherlands. And she says there was this man on the train, and she just knew he was a vampire. She says it was like a 6-hour plane trip, and he sat so perfect and so pristine and he would just twitch his little cuffs. He had like this pointy nose and these long fingernails, and he didn't move. He didn't he didn't eat food. He didn't drink water for the entire 4 to 6 hours they were on that train. And my friend was like, "Oh my God," telling her friend, "That's a vampire. That's a vampire. That's a vampire. Like she knew." And she just laughs about it today as someone who is not awake and aware, not even believing in aliens, not even having the vaguest concept. She just knew he was in like this black suit, perfectly pressed. He sat perfect. He didn't move. I think she said he didn't even blink. And she would peek over the edge and watch him and giggle and laugh. And he would just fix his cuffs, and the whole trip was perfectly straight. So that's very fascinating. I bet it was. I bet it was a vampire that was in human form that needed to get somewhere fast. And maybe I don't know. I don't know. But she totally had the feeling as a young 20-year-old that this is totally someone who would drink, who did not need food and would drink other substances. Okay, so that kind of civilization fascinates me, but that's more of the darker side. Let's look to see if there are any alien spaceships, alien crafts from other planets that they come in on like 3D ships, okay? So this isn't the Angelics. This is not the interdimensionals. This is not teleportation. This is not other realms. This is not portals. This is ships, okay? Space-faring ships. And I just want to switch decks for this. Space-faring ships that the ships can teleport, but you have to be in a ship. Like it has to be Star Wars 3D. And then they go through black holes and they go through, so let's just ask here. Millions of light years, collapsing time. Spirit, are there ships and civilizations of ships, 3D ships? So this card fell out, independent. So there definitely seems to be some sort of independent from humanity. We get a 2 of Pentacles, which is saying there's 1 or 2 civilizations like this. We're getting the Moon, which is not favorable energy. It's a little bit negative. Okay. We're getting strategy. They use the ships as a means of strategy. I'm getting cloaking. I'm getting invisibility. They're trying to stay hidden. Travel, spacefaring travel. They need to get fast from one point to another. There is a civilization and they do travel. Okay, they do travel. Any information. They travel particularly through the skies. They're invisible. They're strategic. They're 3D. There's maybe 2 civilizations or there's like multiple civilizations. Yeah. We get a yes and a star card. So they have advanced technology. They do. They have advanced technology. Are these, I'm getting 2 civilizations. I'm sure there's more, but I don't know why I'm seeing like 2. And I'm also hearing the words a step above Earth, a higher grade of Earth. This probably would be anti-gravity material. So it's like the step above a 3D Earth, like 4D. Advanced technology. Are they benevolent? Are they 50-50 benevolent? Some benevolent, some not. Strength card, they're definitely vying for power. They're definitely trying to control certain locations. They're vying for power for the portals. But they also are connected to the ley lines of the earth. They use the energy of free energy, Mother Earth, the ley lines, the grid lines. They work with some portals, but they're also vying for true portals. So they don't have complete access to the portals. Does that make sense? I'm not sure if that makes sense. So what I'm seeing here is like they use high grade technology like free energy. And then they also kind of trying to like access portal technology as well. And I think that some of them are good and some of them are not. And I have to take that as this moon card. The moon card is like the moon people, other planets. I don't believe that all of them are for the good of humanity. They just have access to a lot of technology. And they travel that way. They are more of like a traveling society. And it's not that they travel, it's like they live in the air. It's like they live in like anti-gravity crafts. That's what I see. I'm not getting a lot. I'm getting maybe 2 or 3 civilizations. King of Cups and 2 again. Yeah, 2 are definitely not as many civilizations as like we would with the werewolves and the shapeshifters of old. And look at this. Bottom of the deck. 5 of Swords. They're at war. Okay. They're at war. But they kind of like live in their crafts. They live up there in like free energy, anti-gravity crafts. All right. So let's clear the energy of these 2 types of reality. I want to see, are there just purely interdimensional civilizations that are not 3D? They might be able to show up as 3D, but they don't have any reason to be 3D unless to be with humanity. The other 2 groups, they're definitely 3D. They just have really weird energy, and they have access to intense advanced technology. But I just want to ask about just interdimensional civilizations that are just purely of other worlds. Okay, so we have the Knight of Swords, which represents air, swords. We have the Ace of Wands, which is a yes. We have 8 of Wands, which is energy, interdimensional. There's nothing about Earth here. There are many of them working with world leaders. They are teachers and guides to humanity, and they are currently helping to give humanity a choice of who to choose to follow. They are our spirit guides, but they're also working with world leaders. This Hierophant card, a very powerful leadership. I want to ask, what is this? What is this Hierophant? What is this Hierophant energy? This is the teacher, the guide, the priest, the guru of Earth. This is not the emperor, but the Pope of Earth. So think Pope energy. 5 of Cups, which is depression, anxiety, fear. Queen of Swords, cutting it away, coming in to serve humanity with information. Page of Wands, and they're very energetic. They do not come in intentionally or normally as 3D people. They come in as energetic presences, especially when they're called upon for help, or when we use our words, or we sign contracts, go into agreements, nation to nation, world to world peace, policies, constitutions, blueprints. They're all about giving the world the mindsets to break through the matrix, and they're here to support us energetically. Their goal is not, I don't see anything here except this 1, 2 of Pentacles, which can represent a choice or working alongside of us. But they're not here to incarnate. They're not here to some of them aren't even here to show themselves visibly. They're just here to help us get back on our feet, to reset our world. This energy definitely has a much better energy. It seems like the interdimensional realm is much more positive than some of the other earth realms that I tapped into. Okay, now I want to share with you all something that I found on Facebook, and I wanted to share. This was from Gaia TV. And I apologize, I do not know who she is. But hang on, I just messed up my video. So she says here, from 2019 to 2026, it's known in the future as the frequency wars. So let me see if I can get this to you so you can see it. From 2019 to 2026 as being referred to in the future as frequency wars. So during this period that we're in, there's a lot of vying for our control of our frequencies at the mental, emotional, and physical levels. So this is happening at the human level, where there are humans who want to stay in power, and so they're manipulating the way that we think, the way that we feel. And then there's also an extra-dimensional aspect to it. So I think people are kind of waking up to see some of the manipulation that's happening at the human level, because we're seeing repeated patterns very quickly now. But I think there's a whole nother level that's going to start to open up. The layer that's invisible to us. Yes. And, the guides say it's just the same as it is here on the planet. There are great people, and there's some people doing some not so great things. And it's the same thing in the higher realms. From 2019 to 2026 as being referred to in the future as frequency wars. So let's pull on frequency wars. Are we in a period from 2019 to 2026? We know what happened in 2020 with the whole pandemic. We know what happened in the weird balances of power between world leaders. The world leaders really began to shift. We also know that there was a lot of WARs internationally throughout 2019 to 2026. There's a lot of cleaning of underground facilities in that time period. There are media contradiction reports, media censorship. There was many, many ways that things were awoken within our reality to realize that things will never be the same. Spirit, what can you tell us about frequency wars? Do they exist? Is this intentional? Was it destined? Do we have people from the future coming back to help us? Very interesting concept here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So the card that fell out was Knight of Wands, warriors. But this is good military grade warriors. This is, I'm seeing how when I was taught as a girl that Jesus would come back on a white horse, I'm seeing like the saints are coming back. And I would see those images in the old time Bible story books of like Jesus coming back and all the saints, and they were all on white horses. I'm seeing an image, something like that. Metaphorically. Judgment. It's time for your reckoning. Militaries bringing in reckoning, accountability, and judgment to the earth, or to, let's find out, maybe other realities. Call, a judgment call. We have the stress card, the astral realm. This is the area of nightmares. So sometimes this refers to me as the moon realm, or the area where we go and we sleep and we have nightmares, the underworld. Two of Cups, definitely two parties, two sides. The Star. But the more predominant side is the higher grade technology. That's what tipped this into a frequency WAR. I believe interdimensional higher beings brought in certain technology to combat some of the negative AI technology under which we all had been involved in for 50 to 100, if not more, years. So there was like a involvement of the minds of humanity that kept us in a grid-like, pattern-like way of thinking. But something about higher beings brought in technologies that began interrupting it. This is an actual bringing in of technology. This is and I forget the word, I apologize, advanced interdimensional galactic technology. Hangman, it put the earth into a very tight, tense, precarious position. Hangman, he's upside down. But he put himself in that position so that his crown chakra could awaken. Because anytime you're upside down or like hanging down, even if you put your head on a bed and you let it hang down, you awaken your crown chakra. So when you let the blood rush to your head, so he puts himself into a position where he can awaken. But it put the world into a difficult position. Richard says, you could say you are a frequency warrior. You are holding a space that helps by its very nature of being higher vibe. You chose to incarnate for this battle of frequencies. I love that. You chose to incarnate for this battle of frequencies, not just to put your frequency to others and help them awaken, but just to be a higher frequency. Like you said, by very nature of being a higher vibration. Look at this, 7 of Wands. Someone has energy that's stronger than the others. It's combating all the other 6 wands, poking at it, pushing at it, pricking, and he's standing above on a mountain, higher than them all, fighting them off, but taking the higher road. He also has his defense as a shield, a frequency shield. So many of us are protected, and we can stay protected by, keeping our crystals, doing our deep breathing, staying grounded, staying connected to Mother Earth. Those are our shields, but also our very energy. Sometimes our very energy can disrupt the low frequencies around us. So that's beautiful. Humans are very much part of this energetic frequency battlefield. 7 of Cups, it got very confusing in 2019 to 2020, very confusing because cycles were ending. The world card, cycles were ending all over the world. And this technology is bringing in a quantum field, a quantum reality. It is interfacing into our energetic fields and into the energetic field of Earth. You could almost say a new energetic grid work, a new vibration of energy. This is the quantum system, this Queen of Wands. Whenever I pull cards for the world, the Queen of Wands, unless it's talking about individuals and it's not here, this is a worldwide energetic force that combats the dark elite matrix of this world. But it got very confusing. It got intense. It got into like a detox. It's like the world was going through a massive detox from 2019 to 2026. So let's just go ahead and pull up a prediction here. Spirit, how many more months, years, days are we going to continue in these frequency wars? Can you give us an end of a timeline when this is going to shift? And from the future, we will no longer be able to say, this time frame, we won. Like in this time frame, we were much higher vibration. There was not as much conflict. When does that time period start? 2 of Pentacles. Pentacles can represent months to me. The Tower card, I'm seeing the eclipses, the eclipse season, and Page of Pentacles, months. Okay. I want to confirm that the Tower is indeed just the shakeup and the shock and not a year's time frame. Is it? Okay, we are getting so we are getting up to a year, okay? We are getting a major arcana, which is a year, and then we're getting a 2 of Wands, and then we're getting a year and a 2 again. Major arcana 2, major arcana 2. And a major arcana is like when you pull about time, it's like a year long. So we definitely have to next year, definitely within this year and next year, possibly even one more year, including from 2025. So I'm seeing 2025 as being 1 year and 2026 being the other year. But I will be honest with you, the first message I got was starting in 2 months, things are going to start shifting. And then I got the expect changes over the next 2 years. So my first initial clairvoyance was 2 months. But then there is confirmation that it is going to continue for a good year and a half, so to the end of 2026. But I don't think it's going to be as intense. I think coming in the next 2 months, things are going to start wrapping up quickly, and it's going to get easier and easier. So we are gaining the upper hand when it comes to the frequencies of light. 2 years to 2 months. I keep saying 2 years. I keep saying 2 months. But I know it's not going to just be over in 2 months. You know what I mean? What do our guides desire us to know concerning extraterrestrial and interdimensional beings? And we're going to end with this. We're going to switch to my angel deck. Spirit, what do you want us to know? We invite the presence of the archangels of the highest love and light, our energetic guides. What do you want us to know about other realities? And the cards are all falling out. What do you want us to know about other realities, other beings, other dimensions? What do we need to know? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow. So the 2 cards I pulled up to begin with is the 3 of Swords, which is betrayal, attack, wounds. And this is defense, capture. This is 9 of Wands, protected, controlling, manipulative. When these 2 cards are together, this is backstabbing, narcissistic energy. And Spirit is saying we have been under the rule of energies that we thought were normal, and they are not normal. The energies we have grown up under, the energies that we have lived under for the last hundreds of years is not good energy. We think it's normal to live in our incarnations and to go through the struggles and the traumas and the family problems and the love relationship problems and the marriage problems and the financial problems. And Spirit's just saying that's not normal. And what we're doing is we're actually giving ourselves permission to say, I no longer accept what was in the past. I don't accept that energy any longer. New energy is coming in. This is a new portals opening. This is our spirit guides. This is our soul families. I believe that we're getting help from our soul tribes and our families in higher realms. That's what Spirit wants us to know. This is coming in slowly but surely. Assistance. This is good military. This is intelligence. This is freedom. But this is step by step. This is in line with our free will. The higher realms will not let humanity ascend unless we choose it. Or it won't force us to ascend. Angels and galactics of light do not force us to ascend. We have to take the proper steps. Now, the 2 cards that fell out was military, and then we have underground. And I think some of these frequencies that we've been used to have been coming from earth-based negative civilizations. They're not even coming from the star civilizations or the higher dimensional civilizations or planetary. I don't think our negative realities and negative energies of Earth have been coming from beings far away. They've been coming from people right under our feet. Right under our feet. What guidance can you give us, Spirit, as we shift out of this controlling, shape-shifting, negative frequency? Strategy, the world. That's good. It means their time is up, the ending. And they're being moved off the planetary realm. So Spirit's saying there's not so much guidance for us as humanity, but just us to know they're being taken off world. They're being taken to other interdimensional spaces where they can no longer shapeshift and they can no longer they can no longer make Earth into a prison planet. They can no longer do their thing. They're being taken off world. They're being taken away. This strategy card is just picking up the pieces. It's like we're in the stage in 2025 where it's a cleanup. The cleanup. Justice, tribunals, international war courts. Think that, but imagine the international war court in an interdimensional capacity. Wow. The Nuremberg trials of the planets, of the galactics. And it's cleanup. It's cleanup on aisle 6. Wow. Okay. So I know that this was weird, this was wacky, but thank you for joining me. I hope that answered some of your questions about some of the frequency wars. I hope that it gave you help and excitement that we're just in the stages of cleaning up, and things are going to get better and lighter in our energy on Earth, and that everything that you have suspected about other weird realities, like I said in my email, if you want to join my email list, go ahead and find me on my website. But I believe the portals to other worlds are opening. Contact is being made in many different ways, whether it is a connection to your ancestors, spirit guides, or angels, or whether it is lights whizzing in the night sky, or whether it's a feeling of an interdimensional being, unexplained presence next to you. You are free to consider all possibilities. You are just free to be able to open up your mind, and that's all that can be asked of any of us. Open up our mind to the possibilities that there really is life out there in other realities. Find me on my website, violetflame.net, or you can send me an email. If you would like to work with me in a capacity, I would love to offer my services to you. I am opening up my Clairvoyant Life Purpose Coaching Program where you can manifest your destiny. And this includes 9 weeks of working with me one-on-one, and includes clairvoyant sessions that look into your soul's highest purpose and fulfillment. What is your soul asking for you to do in this new earth? What is your soul asking for you to accomplish? And then once you get clarity, I share techniques where you can manifest what your soul is asking you to do. So go ahead, check it out, or send me an email, ruth.violetflame@gmail.com. Check out my website, and I hope to be of service to you as well. For the members, it's $9 a month. We are going to be doing on Sunday at 12:30 Eastern Time. We're going to be doing a Divine Destiny Fulfilling Your Purpose group coaching Zoom call. You can come, you can be a part of it, sign up through the Global Shift if you wish, and you can get free access for 1 month using the code AWAKE, AWAKE. You get free access to it if you would like to join us here. I'm going to be sharing some information about DNA and also talking about developing a personal routine so that we can connect to our life purpose. And yeah, you're welcome to come join the call. You can turn on your camera and chat, or you can leave everything turned off if you just want to listen. But I hope to see you there. Until next time, I will see you next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for another Global Shift forecast. Have a good day, everyone.